Fuck her right in the pussy.
Feminism is cancer. Thank you very much.
This centipede is a predator.
Oh, darling. And now you think it's funny.
Sorry, I'm talking about men, though.
The centipede has two curved, hollow fangs, which inject paralyzing venom. Despite its impressive length, it's a nimble navigator.
Sorry, darling. You'll never be able to stomp the Milo.
There's quite a wide spectrum within which the human body can exist and be healthy. Human beings come in lots of different shapes and sizes, and that should be reflected in retail because, after all, it's us that's spending our money on those clothes.
Women these days report, as compared to even 50 years ago, they're far more depressed, they're far more likely to report themselves as generally unhappy with life, they're far more likely to be single, and they're far more likely to contemplate suicide. And a lot of this has got to do with the fact that after 30, women do struggle to be happy if they're not in relationships. And part of the reason that many women are not in relationships is you've got these weird celebrities like Lena Dunham, who put sort of, being quivering and blobby and unpleasant as a sort of virtue on our screens, encouraging women to turn themselves into quite unattractive, sort of spectacles. I don't think that's particularly healthy for anybody, but ultimately it doesn't really affect men. It certainly doesn't affect me as a homosexual. It just affects women because you're making women unhappy.
Confirmed kill.
We need gender equality so that boys won't be violent. There's a wonderful charity based in Edinburgh called Zero Tolerance, which is teaching gender equality to childminders so that they can teach children that they're equal, they have equal opportunities, and they do it specifically to reduce violence from men to women when they're adults. We need to start much earlier than men.
OK, Milo, you want to come in?
Unbelievable, astonishing sexism. We have to teach young boys not to be boys so they won't be violent.
Why is being violent being...
Get out!
Gotcha, bitch!
Confirmed kill.
I'm sorry. Like gender, we teach boys and girls that they're the same, and that's a problem. They are different. When we do experiments on young babies and even on related animals, we know that certain children go for certain toys. Boys and girls are different. To give you some context for all of this. You have to understand a little bit about the history of feminism. There have been two main strands.
And here is our local expert.
Well, yes. Of course, because of course men aren't allowed to speak about anything that isn't to do with
no,
men.
the things
Except
that you've
no one's
already
really
said.
interested in.
Centipede.
Fuck her right in the pussy.
Confirmed kill.
And of course, beyond the sexodus, some men are retreating into slightly horrendous other things. We have produced another pathetic, monstrous creature as a result of this phenomenon, known as the male feminist. This is about the most depressingly hilarious creation of modern life. A man who hates himself and his fellow man so much that he will say and do and believe literally anything that some dumpy, fat lesbian blogger tells him because he thinks he might get laid. Well, I can tell you the best these guys ever get is an unsatisfying handy in the back of a car. Women don't want this. They don't. Even those eyes, but they don't. They don't. Now, you're unlikely to get laid if you're part of the sexodus, but celibacy is practically guaranteed as a male feminist. Which might be why so many of them turn out to either be virgins, perverts, or both.
Get wrecked.
Hi.
Hello.
Okay. My name is Tanae. I'm the current president of our NAACP chapter.
Great.
And so I just have a few questions. During your entire presentation, I noticed that you failed to mention that feminism is the belief that men and women are equal.
Well, here we go again. Looks like we have another onion boy on our hands that believes definitions never change. Will she stump the Milo, or will she redefine the definition of being completely fucking wrecked? Let's find out.
So do you not think this? And then also, I noticed when you were talking about America's values and about how great America is, you failed to mention that our nation was built on the power of white men without the acknowledgement of black people, the Indians, women at least. So do you not think that men and women are equal? Do you not acknowledge the problems that we have here in America that does, in fact, not make America great?
All right. No. Let's be respectful.
I mean, not triggered. I understand how to handle myself, unlike some Trump supporters.
Guys. It was a perfectly reasonable, respectful question. Let's be respectful.
Thank you.
On the first half of your question, women don't agree with you. Fewer than 1 in 5 women in America describes themselves as a feminist, even though over 85% of them believe in inequality between the sexes. Why? Because they know that feminism has become something different now. They know that the feminism you're talking about, it's very convenient, isn't it, to sort of treat men like shit. And then when people say, I'm not a feminist, say, oh, but feminism's out of quality. But that's not what feminism has become. It's not what feminism is anymore. Feminism is a mean, vindictive, spiteful, nasty, man-hating philosophy.
So
that
why
has very
would you
little, well, let me finish, because I let you finish, okay? That has very little to do with the equality of the sexes and a lot to do with man-hating. And the way that you know that is women are abandoning it in their millions. Women don't want feminism anymore. They have rejected your version completely. They don't agree with you. In the UK, the numbers are even worse. Just 7% of women in the UK describe themselves as feminist, despite the fact that 92% of women in the UK believe in equality of the sexes. It's very clear what's happening. They don't believe that those two things mean the same, because if they did, they'd give the pollsters the same answer to both those questions.
Turn down for weed. Smoke weed.
Feminism is the belief that men and women are equal.
Are you sure about that?
Hi, Milo.
Hi.
I'd like to start saying I've survived cancer twice, and I definitely say...
I know what you're going to say, and so does everybody else, but say it anyway.
I'd rather have cancer than feminism.
But come and give me a hug. How are you?
I'm fine.
Wonderful.
6 months remission, my second time.
6 months remission, second time. Congratulations. I wish you all the best.
Feminists think they are strong because they saw a Tumblr post and lost their shit. Note to all feminists, this is what true strength looks like. Not this. This is retarded. This is the result of ignorant BuzzFeed brainwashing bullshit. Open your eyes, not your legs.
And have you darling? And now you think it's funny.
You're sitting there laughing.
Well, this is exactly the problem. It's not funny. It's institutional sexism. And you're just sitting here doing it flagrantly and without even apologizing.